one. All right. It's not for being my well-being, but for any being on the planet to be in need just shouldn't be. The laws of equilibrium dictate that the political economy will not equilibrate till the wages in Africa are at par with the wages here. I am Paul Duchesne, and the name of the show is Mama Paul's Video Podcast. This is a half-hour show, and we've recorded it on Monday, January the 8th, 2020. And what I like to do with poetry, politics, and tea, I like to sort of, on the first half, I like to go through some news stories. In the second half, I like to be a little bit more positive, maybe drink a little tea, read a little poetry. And one second. Yeah, hello. Yeah, who is this? The Don. Oh, I get it. Like Brando in The Godfather, son of a gun. Listen. This is Donald again, isn't it? Yeah, you can't stay off, can you? Yeah. Listen, don't get carried away with this Don thing. Who was it? Oscar Wilde? He said, hey, people who don't get carried away ought to get carried away. Yeah. I don't think you got a problem in that department. You definitely get carried away. Problem is, everybody's worried they might get carried away with you. Listen, it's interesting. Donald the Don the Donald, Trump. DDT. I like it. It fits. Let me put you in my address book here. Let me put you in my address book right now. I'll put in DDT Trump. No. It does. It really fits you good. You become more toxic than weed killer. Honest to God, you have. Anyway, what'd you call about? The weather? Are you kidding me? Just look out the window. Step outside. What do you mean there's no windows, no outside? Aren't you in the White House? You're 5 floors down. What are you doing down there? What's there, a new McDonald's or a pizza parlor down there? Are you under Hillary's pedophile torture chamber pizza parlor? Listen, if those QAnon people find out that it's you and not Bill and Hillary behind Pizzagate, you're going to be in trouble. Well, nobody believes you anyway. You got a point there. Listen, what's really on your mind? You know what? I had one other thing before you do it. One other thing. I gotta say, honest to God, I was really impressed the other day when you went from the Rose Garden to the church. It was without a doubt, I'm telling you, it was without a doubt one of the greatest, it really was. It was one of the greatest feats of showmanship I have ever seen. It was almost biblical. The way you use those animals, the horses and your staff, almost like donkeys. Sort of like, remember Jesus on Palm... Jesus. Yeah, he's the book you were holding, he's in it, yeah. Jesus on Palm Sunday, he rides into town on a, what do they call it? Donkey's ass. Well, the procession of donkeys' asses and all of that incense, I could almost smell the frankincense through the television. It brought tears to my eyes. And I noticed it brought tears to quite a few other people's eyes. Yeah, well, I've never seen anything like it. And a few people hope they never do again, too. No, that's true. By the way, and there you were. Look at you right now. There you are in front of, what is that, John Paul II there. You have every church, even Billy Graham got PO'd on you. Seriously, I mean, you got to watch the stuff with the church thing. I mean, seriously, it's not good. It's not your best move. Honest to God, it's not. I'm telling you, it's just not your best move. It really isn't. No. Did you see the flag the other day? Did you see the flags the other day? You didn't see it? Huh. Maybe I got a picture here I can show you. Okay, after you did the whole church thing in the morning, right? You did the church thing in the morning, right? That night, the biggest American flag on the planet, torn to shreds in a storm in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. I tell you, when you go to church, God definitely hears what you're going to say. Absolutely. No doubt about it. He does. He does. He hears what you're going to say. He knows what's going on. Yeah, you are quite a character. You are quite a character. You're good. Listen, what did you want to say? What did you want to say to me? Come on, give me a hint. I know you're a stable genius. Well, a lot of us know you're a stable genius. We've heard this. Yeah, you're a stable genius. Here, let's bring it up. I think we probably have. There it is. There you are. Look at this. You were actually pointing to what they call the brains in there. Yeah. Not a lot of emotion, but there is a bunch of brain in there. Well, there must be something in there. I don't know exactly what, but anyway, you solved the problem. If you could, well, no, who else could solve the problem? What problem are you talking about? White supremacy? Holy mackerel! That's a big one. So what's the solution? The whites are supreme? The others are dominated? Yeah, you use that word a lot this week. Oh, I see. There's no more problem. You solved the problem. The whites are supreme, and that's it. Listen, I wouldn't go too far with this, to tell you the truth. I really wouldn't, you know? You might take a step back and listen, if you solve the problem, let me ask you a question. If you solve the problem, what are you doing in the bunker? What do you mean you're not really in it? You're just inspecting it? Once a month? There's like a tag and you have to go around and inspect all the bunkers? Are you kidding me? Come on, huh? Don't you have any inspectors? You don't have any inspectors? Well, what happened to them? They're all gone? Jesus, I don't know. I'll tell you. How many did you have? You personally had to do the inspection. Well, you're becoming a real hands-on kind of guy, aren't you? It looks that way to me. Yeah, I think you are. You're definitely becoming a hands-on kind of guy. And speaking of hands-on, keep your hands off me, okay? I'm telling you, keep your hands off me. Yeah, I know about you and Roy. Yeah, you and Roy used to hang out at Studio Fit. Roy Cohen. Roy Cohen. 8 years with Roy Cohen. He's the guy that introduced you to the Italian mob in the city. What, are you kidding me? Get out of here. You used to hang out with him in Studio... You and Roy in Studio 54. Who knew who was grabbing who? The two of you. I'm telling you. A piece of work. An absolute piece of work. I got a show to do here on this tube. And I can't be on the phone with you all the time. Alright? I just can't. Okay? I can't be on the phone all the time. I got to do this show. I don't do any social networking. I don't have a Twitter account. I don't do Facebook. I don't do Snapchat. Just this tube. That's it. But, well, you can't do rallies that Twitter's tweaking with your tweets. Listen, that doesn't mean you're going to be on the phone with me all the time. I'm busy. Honest to God, I'm busy. Yeah, there's other things going on beside you. That's true. That's what Putin said to you the other day. You gave him a call this week, didn't you? I heard that. Yeah, you gave him a call. I know. Yeah. He said what? Holy mashugana. He got his money worth? He got his money worth investing with you? Oh. No. That wasn't a call. Not yet. He got his money worth investing with you? No, in you. Oh, I see. He got he got way more than he ever imagined for the money. Yeah. Well, we can all see that. So you've invited him to the new and improved G7 meeting. Merkel, I know Merkel hung up on you after 20 minutes the other day. Putin, he's still in. So we're going to get rid of the Germans, bring back the Ruskies. We keep the 7, good lucky number. And the Ruskies don't have to worry about NATO anymore. Yeah, I read that in the paper this week. Yeah, you're pulling a bunch of the troops out of Germany. Well, Putin was thrilled to death. I know he was. Well, you and him are, what can I tell you? You and him are just, you're almost like sort of like kissing buddies here, You really are. All right. All right. Listen. Why don't we move one more? Okay, one more thing. Why are they marching in the White House? You got to be kidding me. What do you have? You paying attention to what's going on? You have a clue. Yeah, you're right. You solved the white supremacy. Okay. The virus thing, it's practically over. Totally under control. The economy is surging back. You could say that. Yeah. Unemployment is looking good. And what'd you see the other day? You didn't. Honest to God. George Floyd is smiling down from heaven. I think that's going a little bit too far. Honest to God. How do you know he's in heaven? Oh, I see. It's like Monopoly? Everything's like Monopoly, huh? So what, if you land on Minneapolis and you get beaten to death by the boys in blue, you don't pass go because you don't need the $200. You get a pass directly to heaven. Whew, man, that's a rough way to get in. Holy mashugana. So why are they marching? Look. I've been in, I can't tell you how many marches I've been in. I can't tell you. Last 50 years, since the 60s, anti-war, equal rights, the Women's March, Occupy Wall Street. I can't tell you how many anti-war marches. I said I can't tell you. Well, I signed a non-disclosure agreement to tell you the truth. That's basically what it was about. I signed a non-disclosure agreement. So I just can't I can't get into it. That's true. Okay, yeah. Beside that, listen. If I didn't sign the non-disclosure agreement, okay, they were going to move me back to New York City, and I cannot leave California. I'm too blue. The whole place is too blue. I don't fit back there too much anymore. I'll tell you that I really don't. Even the bluesies back there are a little bit redsies, and the red and the blues together, that comes out a little bit green. The green looks good on the grass, but on people, it's sort of indicative of liver problems. No, it is. I'm serious, yeah. All right. 1 second. There's that other phone. Can you hang on a minute? Okay, just hang up. If you don't want to hang on, then hang up. One or the other. I'm taking the other call, all right? Yeah. Hey, hello? Yeah, who's this? Holy mackerel. Jesus H. Christ. It's... Whoa. Dick Gregory. Jesus. Wow. Unbelievable. You are... Listen. Aren't you dead a couple of years now? Haven't you been dead like for a few years? That's why you're called... Oh, it's the cord phone. I see. You're right. That's my afterlife phone. No, I haven't had a chance to use it much. So, you're going to give me a call next week? Yeah, that would be much better. Call me next week. I'll get rid of this guy, and we'll have a longer time to talk. You saw from where you are. Oh, about the essay I wrote on the N-word. I don't like that expression either. I know you don't like it. Your book was called... No, I am not going to say it on air without more context. I got stoned with my own essay. I got paper stoned last week. I went to a rally. I got paper stoned. They didn't understand it. I didn't have enough context. I led with that word, boy. They wouldn't go past that first word. Paper stoning is enough for me. I'm telling you. It is. I don't do well with rabid dogs or water hoses or, God, billy clubs. Jesus. I'm old, I'm white, and I don't like pain. Look at the guy they knocked down in Buffalo. If I go over, it's over, and who's going to do the show here? The kids? Yeah, well, they're good in the street, but I'm not sure if they're rocking exactly how we got here right now. Okay, listen, next week for sure. Alrighty? You know, you're one of my big-time heroes. Honest to God, you are. You are absolutely... You are one of my favorite heroes in the whole world. And I'll tell you why. You quit your straight job. And you got into health food and fasting and exercise. I got your book here. I've had your book for years. Yeah. It's hard to get a copy. Yeah. We can talk about this next week, maybe. Let's see. There it is. Dick Gregory's natural diet for folks who eat, cooking with Mother Nature. We'll talk about it a little bit more next week. Okay? I'll bet you got all the time in the world right now. Well, that's true. You're not in the world. So you got all the time, period. Okay. Listen, I'm looking forward to chatting next week. It'll be a nice conversation, all right? Let me finish up with this other guy, and then we'll pick it up next week. Okay, doke. Okay, bye now. Thanks for calling, really. Wow. All right. Yo, where is he? Is he back? Is he here? Whoa. Hello, Donald. That was an article in New York Review of Books about a year ago. You don't smile a lot. And when you do smile, you seem to be holding something in. I think it's, maybe the muscles in your mouth or something. I don't know what's going on with you. Anyway, I got to get off. The show is only so long. My attention span is absolutely being challenged. Yeah. All right, one more thing. No, I didn't hear about the bears. What bears? The baby bears and their mothers? What are you talking about? Your boys? Don and the other one. Yeah, the other one. Yeah, right, the other one, yeah. They like to go trophy hunting. Yeah, so what? They took away the Denali National Park in Alaska. Jesus. So, what did you sign? You're going to club a few baby bears and their mothers that are in the way? So the kids can go hunting again up in Alaska? Jesus, the bears aren't even Mexican or black or anything. They're just bears. Well, okay, listen. Keep your mouth shut about this one. When I first heard the story, I was told it was about mining rights and there was money involved in the deal. Well, that made sense. I didn't know it was about trophy. It turned out it was probably fake news or a bad report. Good thing I double-checked. Yeah, I usually double-check any of my news stories. I feel a little better that it's trophy hunting. You don't do anything you do everything for money. And that always is how it appeared to me. So it seems like it's sort of nice that you're doing something for the kids. There is a back deal. It hasn't been reported. So what? They're going to pick it up in the paper in about 2 weeks? Is that the story? Oh my God, Jesus. Who knows? I don't know. Listen, what do you say? A sociopath here, a sociopath there, here a sociopath, there a sociopath. What are you singing? You've suddenly gotten musical and poetic? You sound like the Buffalo Bill character in Silence of the Lambs. And you like to dress up and act out. Yeah, I don't doubt it. Okay, listen, we did it. I'm serious. No more than once a week. I can only take so much time of this. I'm hanging up. Yeah, maybe next week. But I'm talking. No. I'm talking to Dick first. If you're a good boy, we'll connect. If not, there's other people in the room. All right. Well, maybe we'll see. Okie doke. Okay. Yeah. Goodbye. Okay. Well, what a period. What a 2-week period. Whew. I was supposed to get on the air 2 weeks ago, and suddenly my Mevo camera, which is, I know some people have advised me not to talk about this, but it's hard stopping me from some things. My Mevo camera, gorgeous little 150-degree angle camera, all these technical aspects to it. I can do all these different kind of little shots and things like that, and back and forth. And finally, I learned how to put these graphics up. Well, that was Mevo 1.0. I didn't know they were going to have 2.0. So they're involved with this other company, this Vimeo, and the two of them, they keep changing ownerships back and forth. So it took me almost a year to get this thing working. Suddenly they come out with 2.0. And the rap is, oh, it's real simple, just boom, 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 and you'll be in business. Well, boom, boom, boom turned into hours and hours and emails and emails. And then Apple throws in a new operating system to upgrade. And we had waited months before doing it, figuring, work the bugs out, because there's always these stupid bugs in these things, So I waited months, finally we upgrade that, and boom, my wife can't get her Tom Hartman podcast. Another day, 3 hours on the phone with Apple, 45 minutes on hold, 2.5 hours with the technician. We finally got that whole thing working. Unbelievable. So anyway, we're back in business. Everything's working, and we're back on the air. So I'm glad to be back on the air. But let me say, who I seriously no more. That's it. No more. That's it. I can't talk to anybody else tonight. Who could have predicted that the pandemic of the century was going to move off the front page? Who could have ever predicted that Rachel was going to stop talking about the meatpacking plants, the prisons, the nursing homes, the spikes that are going on in all these small little towns all throughout rural America? Suddenly, the revolution has started. Now, I have literally been waiting since the 60s. I have been waiting for 50 years for this thing to get started. And now, the criminal justice system, and the brutal death of black people in this country in general, and the particularly brutal death of George Floyd caught on one of these little puppies. If it wasn't for this little puppy, George would be dead, and the cops would be, they'd be in the diner having donuts and coffee right now, and nobody would be in the streets. If these people had, like two ounces of common sense, they would have pulled these four guys, especially, the thing is videotaped. I mean, my God, from all sorts of angles. If they had any brains at all, they would have taken these guys off the street and thrown them in jail for anything. There wouldn't have been the marching the next day. Because this happens every week, every week, every day. I mean, you don't know how often this happens. Somebody's got a list of this, and it's not me. I just know it happens enough that I know enough about it. So, George would be dead, and the police would be having donuts. Now, that's not the situation, but just like Donald Trump, he DDT, it's toxic. All day long, they lie. It's a blue wall. It's a blue wall of protection. Now, I'm not going to say all the cops are bad. I would say maybe 90%, probably 5 or 10%, just sort of like the progressives that are in the House and maybe in the Senate. There, one or two here and there. About 5% of your congressmen are legitimate and honest and not really totally sucked into the lobbyists and the money. George Romney, even look at this. Look at Romney. He was out there. The guy's got some cojones, I'll tell you. Out of the 90%, it's probably not all of them that are, brutal, like the guys that you watched on the television holding his foot on the guy's neck, holding his foot on his neck while the other two had their knees on his body, legs off the ground. They were crushing him to death from 3 points while they're telling him to get up and get into the car. I mean, the chutzpah on this whole thing is just absolutely disgusting. It really is. It's really just outrageous to the point of where we are today. It's been 2 weeks now. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop for a long time. This is the revolution. We are at a tipping point right now. And back at this whiteboard, there's a spiral coming down to a point, and there's a spiral coming out. The larger the circle represents time far away when things appear to be slower and things take longer to happen. As you get closer and closer to the end of the spiral, time speeds up and things happen faster. We are approaching, and I've been approaching this for ages. Well, we are there. I call it a tipping point. Some people call it a shift. Some people call it an apocalypse. There's a lot of different names for it depending on different perspectives you have on it, but the point is, what we have here is coming to an end. The capitalism and the democracy, you know that Adam Smith wrote The Wealth of Nations, published it in 1776. The Declaration of Independence, 1776. There was a marriage of capitalism and democracy. There's been a marriage since the start of this country. And it was based on slavery. And that's a longer story to get into. It was based on slavery. So together, they have been fomenting each other and getting worse and worse and worse as the worst qualities in humanity, in the human race, have been encouraged by the apparent system. And I say apparent system because there are aspects of this that were not supposed to be so diabolical. And it's been written about and talked about. But in the long run, what we've got is a really messed up system. And the democracy is not working, the capitalism is not working, and the both of them are coming to a crushing end. I think what's going to emerge, and we've been going to talk about this quite a bit more, is what I'm calling a spiritual political economy. And when I say spiritual, I can reduce spiritual to, let's grab Nikki Giovanni here for a second. We'll grab Nikki Giovanni, and in a poem, well, it's not a poem, it's an essay called The Inaugural Poem. She says, the exact same proportion of salt and water in the sea as salt and water in the human blood. So all we really know is that we are connected with everything and each other. We're connected with everything and each other. This is a profound statement. Now, it's one thing to say it, and it's another thing to know it, it's another thing to act on it. Well, if we are connected to everything and each other, let's go one step further. The book Panic, as in Slobodan Zizek is talking about the COVID-19 pandemic, and so it's anyway, they changed the name a little bit. Slobodan Zizek is considered the most dangerous philosopher in the West, and we'll talk about him quite a bit as we go along here also. Slobodan Zizek, on page 1 of this new book, which was incredibly difficult to get, touch me not, according to John 20:17. I blew my socks off. I'm reading Slobodan Zizek, and he's quoting from the Bible. Holy mackerel. Touch me not is what Jesus said to Mary Magdalene when she recognized him after his resurrection. How do I, an avowed Christian atheist, I can identify with that, understand these words? I take them together with Christ's answer to his disciples' question, how will we know when you are returned, when you're resurrected? Christ says he'll be there whenever there is love between his believers. He'll be there not as a person to touch, but as a bond of love and solidarity between people. So do not touch me. Touch and deal with other people in the spirit of love. Whoa, takes your breath away. What is, my God, this thing never stops. I was going to read a little bit from Barracan, which is the story of the last black cargo. Zora Neale Hurston, who was a turn of the last century author of Their Eyes Were Watching God. In my marvelous liberal arts education, I barely ever ran into black authors of this bent. This is a story of the last black cargo, and she interviews this man here. We've been underwater 70 days, and we spend some time lying down in the ship till we're tired. Nobody ain't sick and nobody ain't dead, says Captain Bill. He's a good man. He don't bust us and treat us mean on the ship. But then they get to America. They've been on the ship for 70 days. We are sorry to be parted from one another. We cry for home. We took away from our people. We 70 days to cross the water from Africa soil. And now they part us from one another. Therefore we cry. We can't help but cry, so we sing. Oh, grief is so heavy, look like we can't stand it. I think maybe I die in my sleep when I dream about my mama, oh Lord. Woo! What an eye-opener. Peace, patience, persistence, and hopefully we're going to see you next week.